Alright, so this is a NewTek CALIBAR, and the NewTek CALIBAR was used, I think I got this one in '97. They were used for composite signals, so you could send a composite signal out through cable to your monitors or projectors, and you could test them for skew, color grading, whatever you needed this for. It was also good for testing cables. You notice mine's bent because I must have dropped it at one point. It still works fine though. It was over $300. I remember that much. And, well, let's take it apart and see what's inside of it. Alright, so the noise you're hearing right now is, of course, not the Calabar, as the Calabar makes no noise at all. The noise you're hearing is the projector. This is the manual for the Calabar. It used to give you all sorts of information as to how to set it up, how to operate it, the kind of batteries you could use. It also came with a set of glasses, which were also covered in the instructions. I never used them because I didn't need to filter out any of the colors that they were looking for. And of course, the lithium battery, which oddly enough still has voltage after all these years. I mean, this battery is ancient. Came with a bunch of different adapters. And as you can see in this particular configuration, I've just got the BNC going to a double under, going to an RCA, then going to the projector, which is sending out the image right there. So if I press the button, it changes the patterns. Although you probably can't see this terribly well. It's blue, no color, then magenta, aqua blue, another color bar pattern, dots, which was real handy if you were going to be doing a projector alignment. Sorry, I absolutely did not realize how loud that Pico projector was going to be. So this basically shows a bunch of different kind of color bar patterns that you can use while you're working with this piece of equipment. It's really fantastic. I've got SMPTE color bars down here toward the end, which are the ones that I use most of the time when I was going to be working on something that isn't a super loud Pico projector. See, the elegance in this thing is the simplicity. I just took it out of the case so that you could see. I mean, it's really an amazing piece of gear. And once it's in the case, it's pretty much, it's indestructible. So to take it out, you just undo the two screws and slide it straight out from the battery end, which would be this end. This is the end the BNC pokes through, and it's just a pressure fit there, and just the two screws. Which is, like I said, it's pretty amazing. It's a very nice machined tube, very well built. This would have been nice if they had threaded it just a little bit more coarse thread. This machine thread in here is really incredible, and if you ever end up with a Calabar, that's the first thing to do, is to look and see if any of the threads inside are bunged up, because that's a bone of contention with me. I also put a score mark on here so that you'd know which end was the negative terminal, because when you put these batteries in, you really couldn't tell which way the battery's supposed to go, and that would not be a good thing to mess up. So at least this way I knew which way my positive terminal and negative, because if you don't use this thing a lot and you don't really pay that much attention to it, there are no other markings inside or outside of the case that would show you. So I just put a little negative straight on there just so I could use the battery. But I generally use the power supply. Let me show you the power supply. Now, this is the power supply that came with it. I was always kind of disappointed that it didn't come with the NewTek stickers or something like that on there. Kind of a bummer, because it would have been nice. But that's what it came with, and that's the stock power supply that the unit came with, along with a bunch of other small connectors to hook everything up to pretty much anything you'd ever want to connect it to. I generally use it mostly on the adapter. You double hit the button and that brings it up. Hold it down for a second. Or do I have to double hit it again? can't remember. Oh, no, you just hold it down. So you hold it down to shut it off, and to turn it on, you double strike it. Looks like too many hits, but it's not as rigid when it's not in the case, so it's a little more difficult to turn on. It was really an expensive unit at the time. I think I paid 320 some odd bucks for this thing, but to check, calibrate projectors, check cables, make sure cable runs to distant monitors were working, this thing was absolutely invaluable. You could keep it in the case and, you know, not use it for months at a time, and then just whip it out and here you go. And unfortunately I just tried the battery, and the battery was dead. After all these years, it finally let me down. But that's pretty impressive, considering I don't even think Radio Shack exists anymore. Battery itself is a vintage product. But the Calabar still works fine on the power supply that it's on. So a very cool device. I hardly think it's worth anything anymore. But it is one of the neatest things that I've had in my toolkit for all these years. So, but the only thing bad I can say about this is that over the years, the button, and I think the contacts must be dirty on the inside of the button itself. Every once in a while it doesn't go. Like I have to hold it for a second longer. Once it's going again, then it goes. But it's kind of annoying when it's first warming up for the day. So if you had to cycle through really quickly, you'd probably have a problem. See, now it's going just fine once it's gotten going. But for like startup, if I turn this off, okay, now I do the double tap. Sometimes that's a pain. Like right now. Got it. So it takes a while, but it gets going eventually, and it doesn't matter, you know, you can't pound on the button any harder than you can normally press on it. It's just a matter of hitting the lucky amount of hits before it catches, but it eventually does. Still not bad for something that's this ancient. Just in case I didn't show the end, and I thought I did, but I wasn't sure entirely. It's got a BNC connector on it, a power port on the side, the function button, and an LED, of course, which shows you which functions you're in, and a pocket clip, so you can carry it around with you if you had a working battery, which I apparently no longer do. And then, like I said, it came with a whole bunch of different kinds of BNC adapters, so you can connect it to other things. Like in this case, it's connecting to RCA. So anything that had a composite image, you'd be able to send this thing into. Well, it's still useful for checking cables and things now. Like if you had to do long cable runs and you needed to be able to send a signal and see if it worked. It'd be fine for checking analog cables. But other than that, there's really not much of a use in the broadcast industry for this anymore because it's composite 4.3. So yeah, there's that.